So I just wanted to show you that this is from the Daily Beast. So there's a big thing going on right now that Saudi Arabia killed a journalist who worked for the Washington Post, and they dismembered him inside the consulate in Turkey. And so everybody's up in arms over this. Like, this is, Trump's got to stand up to the Saudi Arabia. We've been enabling Saudi Arabia's spread of terrorism and murder, which is what it is, and genocide. We've been enabling them since we went out of the petrodollar. Since the 70s. What are you kidding me? The biggest terrorists in the world is Saudi Arabia and the United States. There's no one even comes close.
Are you saying this didn't all start as soon as Trump was elected, Jimmy?
This did not start on January 2017, which is how people want to shape this. And even before they killed this journalist, here's a story in the Daily Beast. This was a story in the Daily Beast. Pompeo backed Saudi war in Yemen over weapons sales. Huh? So his advisor, well, here, I'll show you that. Here it is. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo backed continued U.S. military support for Saudi Arabia's war in Yemen in order to protect $2 billion in U.S. weapons sales, the Wall Street Journal reported. This is before they killed that journalist. No one gave a shit that we were killing people in Yemen. They killed how many? 58 kids on a bus? They killed 50 kids. They targeted them. Nope, there was no cry to end. Trump better stand up to Saudi Arabia. He just killed a busload of kids. There was no call for that. More than 16,700 civilians have been killed or injured in Yemen, according to the United Nations, which ranks it as the world's worst humanitarian crisis. The world's worst humanitarian crisis. Who's causing it? Saudi Arabia and the United States. What about the butcher of Assad? I thought it was butcher. I thought it was Assad. You mean there's more than one bad guy in the world? I thought Putin was Putin kills journalists. Saudi Arabia. Oh, what? So this is not to say that Assad or Putin or any other leader of a country is a nice person. This is pointing out the bullshit rationale for war. We're going to war in Syria because Assad's a butcher. Why are we going to war in Saudi Arabia? If that's your rationale, because that's not the rationale. That's the bullshit reason they give you. The real reason is at the behest of Israel, Saudi Arabia, and fossil fuels, baby. It's all about money. So the world's worst humanitarian crisis, and we're supposed to be the good guys? We're the ones enabling this, the world's worst humanitarian crisis. This is before they killed that journalist. Pompeo reportedly sided with his legislative affairs team after they claimed that cutting off support could ruin plans to sell 120,000 precision-guided missiles to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. So Pompeo literally doing a war for money. And that's what Trump just said. Hey, the Saudi Arabia is going to spend $100 billion on weapons. I don't think we should turn. So what if they kill a journalist? And people are like, oh my God, you can't say that. You can do that. Just don't say it, which is what Trump does. He says it. And people go, oh, I wish he wouldn't say it. Mm-hmm. That's what they're upset. They're not upset with what Trump's doing. They're upset that he says it. So there you go. And by the way, who voted for? So that's Pompeo. Pompeo literally doing a war on poor people, slaughtering people for money. And who voted for him? Here's the Democrats who voted for him. Joe Donnelly, Dianne Feinstein, Maggie Hassan, Heidi Heitkamp, Tim Kaine, Amy Klobuchar, Joe Manchin, Claire McCaskill, Jack Reed, Brian Schatz, Chuck Schumer, Janine Shaheen, Mark Warner, and Sheldon Whitehouse. You can't read it. Those are the Democrats who voted to confirm Pompeo. The resistance. Once weapons were manufactured to fight wars, now wars are manufactured to sell weapons. And that's what we're living in. And so everyone's trying to pretend this started in January 2017. And this is our country. And every goddamn Democrat in the Senate, as she pointed out, went along with that bloated military budget that gave an extra $80 billion to Trump. to go do war. The guy who they say is an existential threat and a maniac. Here's some more. You want some more money? But that Trump is nuts. Here, how much more money do you need for bombs? I hate you. You need some more money for bombs? When are you going to start bombing more in Syria? This guy's a nut. When is he going to start bombing more? That's the Democrats. And you knew that about Pompeo, I'm sure, right?
Well, yeah, and when you talk about, when people talk about gay rights, Obama gave over $100 billion to Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
It's just there's no international movement of solidarity, and so of course, everyone is governed by self-interest, but one should acknowledge that, and also once you start doing that, you start fighting for a smaller and smaller patch of grass or these illusions of progress or power, and somebody gives you something here, and then another person takes it away, and oh no, they're going to take it away, but because there isn't that international movement of solidarity, you're not standing on firm ground.
It's by design. I know there is a peace movement. I know there's an anti-war movement. They don't want us coming together.
That is true. And they pay people on the left to make sure that doesn't happen. They pay their corporate, the liberal class, to make sure if you ever say we should work with people with a common interest to end war or to fight back against the corporations, there are liberals paid to say to shame that, to stop that. And we've seen it here. Here's what Trump says about the Middle East wars.
Yet we have spent $7 trillion in the Middle East, and we've gotten nothing for it. Nothing. Less than nothing, as far as I'm concerned. That's over an 18-year period.
So this is a reason why a lot of people voted for Trump, because he would say stuff like this. But this sounds good, but what he's really saying is that we should have stole some shit from them.
And he said that in the past.
Yes, we should have taken the oil.
Countries that are there, that you all know very well, are immensely wealthy. They're going to have to pay for this. And I think the president and I agree very much on that. And they will pay for it. They will pay for it. We've spoken to them. They will pay for it.
So there's Trump saying that we got to get other countries to start buying more weapons. That's really what he's saying. He's like, we've done our share. Now other countries have to go spend their money on the defense industry. That's what this is about. So people hear that, they go, oh, he feels like I do about the Middle East. We spent $7 trillion. We got nothing for it. Imagine if we spent $7 trillion in the United States, how much it would help people. We could wipe out all student debt, send everybody to college for free, give everybody education, everybody a living wage. It's amazing, but we don't. Why? Because we have the corporate capture of our government, and then they hire their mouthpieces in the liberal media like Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes, Don Lemon, Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper, who will, with a straight face, on a fact check, tell you that Medicare for All is more expensive than the system we have right now. Jake Tapper, with a straight face. He's not fired. He didn't lose his Facebook page. They didn't take him down for fake news, which is what he is. And that's how this happens. So, all right, well, I just wanted to show people that, and this isn't ending. There's one politician who wants to end it, and here it is, Tulsi Gabbard.
You've called for the U.S. to suspend its involvement and support of this Saudi-led war in Yemen, where thousands, if not millions, of individuals, innocent people, have been killed or are under the threat of starvation right now. Beyond that, what actions do you want the Trump administration to take in the wake of Khashoggi's death?
Well, first of all, we need to end this Saudi-U.S. Alliance period. We need to stop selling them these precision-guided missiles, these weapons, and these arms that they are using to kill civilians in places like Yemen. We need to end our U.S. military support in Yemen. And this is something that I want to talk about a little bit because there hasn't been much focus placed on what the United States' role has been in partnering with Saudi Arabia in Yemen, something that began in 2015 under the Obama administration, continuing now through the Trump administration, where our U.S. military are refueling Saudi bomber planes. They are dropping U.S.-made bombs that we have supplied to them. We are providing them with intelligence and targeting support, as has been reported by this administration, and therefore very complicit in this genocidal war that Saudi Arabia is waging in Yemen. As you said, it is causing millions of Yemeni people to starve and suffer, what to speak of the innocent civilians and children to the tune of tens of thousands who have been killed because of this war. This must end now. We have legislation introduced within Congress. We are trying to push and force a vote on this to end that support for Saudi Arabia in this war in Yemen now.
And my prediction is that first of all, thank you, Tulsi Gabbard, for doing that. That's fantastic. Her, Ro Khanna. And isn't it amazing that Ro Khanna and her don't take corporate money, and they're able to tell the truth about what's happening with Saudi Arabia and Yemen? Isn't that amazing? That is amazing. By the way, the DNC just decided to start taking fossil fuel money again, just so you know, and all these wars are over fossil fuel. So anyway, not a big deal, but if you don't vote blue, no matter who, you're a bad person.
I mean, how do we put pressure on Bernie to answer to us and to get
I've
him
tried,
out of that
people.
party?
I've tried to put pressure on Bernie to answer the progressives, and people shame me for it. You know, people go, "Oh, you got." It's like the whole fucking point of Bernie's 35-year career was to hold your leaders' feet to the fire at all times. So then I go and hold Bernie's feet. The people are like, "Oh, see, he's a purist. No, I have legitimate fucking concerns. It's called having legitimate concerns. And what do you think? Is Bernie Jesus? Is Bernie Santa Claus? Is he perfect? No, Bernie's a guy. And so where I disagree with him on policy or tactic, I'm going to let it be known. And, you know, people are like, oh, you can't say that. You're going to suppress the vote. I'm going to suppress the vote. A guy sitting in his fucking garage is going to suppress the vote. I'm going to suppress the vote. I can't even shame Bernie into coming on our show to answer questions. He won't even answer questions. But somehow it's amazing. Again, it's all voter policing. It's the opposite of how politics work. But that's what we're left with. So now, lesser of two evil voting has finally gotten you the worst thing you can imagine. And your recipe to fix it is fucking more of it. That's just insane. And and I agree with Bernie when he says we have to have a rainbow coalition, but it has to happen outside the Democratic Party. So I agree with Bernie of his 30-year career in politics. I disagree with him in his last 2 years in politics. So that's where we are. Please make sure you're subscribed. Even if you think you are subscribed, there's a good chance you're not. So please check. It only takes a second. And then click that bell. And that's how you know you'll get a notice every time we drop a video. They still won't notify you every time we drop a video, but that's the best we can do. Plus, if you like the show, you want to support it, please become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every week. And come see a live show. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for our live schedule.